Now, it may almost be 2 years away, but the is on already to replace Boris Johnson as Mayor of London. The Tottenham MP David Lammy today became the first political heavyweight to throw his hat in the ring. His early declaration puts him ahead of at least half a dozen Labour names tipped to fight for the party's nomination next year, as our political correspondent Simon Harris reports.
David Lammy's burning ambition to be London's next mayor was an open secret, but until today he would only say publicly he was thinking about it. Now he's confirmed he wants to be Labour's candidate in 2016.
I said a year ago that I was looking at it. It felt right now, way before the general election, to say that when the time comes I will throw my hat in the ring for the Labour nomination. I'll be campaigning in London, of course in the general election, and raising the issues as I have today around the issue of housing.
So you still intend to stand as an MP for Tottenham next year?
Well, of course, because I'm applying to be mayor and we're a long way off applying. The race will not kick off until after the general election.
How can you look voters in the eye in Tottenham and say you want to be their MP for the next 5 years when they know your real ambition is to cut and run for City Hall after 1 year?
Well, look, if I become the mayor of London, I will stand down. But the truth is, it's a long way from Tottenham to City Hall. My constituents know that, and actually many have urged me to stand over the last few years.
When he was elected to represent Tottenham 14 years ago, David Lammy, a barrister, was Britain's youngest MP. He became a minister in Tony Blair's government and wrote a book about the Tottenham riots in 2011. He'll almost certainly be one of the front runners when Labour chooses its candidate next summer.
He's a black British candidate, that's very important. But more than that, he's simultaneously sort of mildly sort of conservative and liberal. He manages to be in both parts of the political spectrum within the Labour Party.
Lammy is the first MP to break cover, but he already has one confirmed rival in the Labour selection contest.
I think that David Lammy's declaration will flush out the other candidates. I've been in this race for the past couple of years and all alone in it. Now that David has joined me, I think the other candidates will think, oh, they better express their intentions because otherwise they might get left behind.
David Lammy says his priority will be tackling London's housing crisis, even suggesting it's time to tear up the rules about building on the green belt.
So, Simon, why was this announcement so much of a surprise?
Well, it's a surprise because Labour won't start the process to formally choose a mayoral candidate until after next year's general election. There's been a lot of speculation about an unofficial consensus among MPs not to declare an interest in City Hall until after then, the thinking being that everyone should focus in the Labour Party on trying to get a Labour government elected and not cause a distraction. And there have already been some mutterings within the London Labour Party. I've heard David Lammy's announcement today described as selfish, but also by others as brave. Of course, there is a counter-argument that someone standing in the general election next year really has a duty to be honest to voters if they really harbour secret ambitions a year later to try to run for City Hall.
OK, Simon, thanks very much.